Tuesday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The country's top economic managers insist the Philippine economy is already recovering. Speaking at a mid-year economic forum organized by the Economic Journalists Association of the Philippines, BSP Governor Diokno said that excluding seasonal factors, the country has been logging growth since the third quarter of last year. That's why the government expects GDP growth to be between 6 to 7% this year and up to 9% in 2022. However, officials admitted that recovery may become apparent as soon as vaccinations gain ground.
Without seasonality, the country has been posting positive quarter-on-quarter economic growth since the third quarter of 2020. This improvement is expected to continue in the succeeding quarters of 2021 with more massive rollout of the COVID-19 vaccines and a more strategic implementation of community restrictions.
Socioeconomic Planning Secretary Carl Chua also believes that the local economy will be back on the growth trajectory by the second half of 2022. Chua insisted that this will happen as they continue to introduce more reforms to allow the country to become a higher middle-income economy.
There will be several changes, and we have instituted several reforms, and we have proposed several more reforms to help us transition into a new economy that is characterized by innovation, that is characterized by a stronger sense of addressing the issues of climate change. We also want to address our remaining infrastructure gap, and we also want to address things like regional inequity. Alongside those, the COVID-19 pandemic is going to accelerate our shift to a digital economy.
Cagayan de Oro City Representative Rufus Rodriguez says the president has ordered the provision of more vaccines to areas with high COVID-19 cases. On 1PH's Wagpo, the lawmaker said 11 areas, including his city, will receive additional vaccines to prevent a further rise in COVID-19 transmissions. On Tuesday, Cagayan de Oro received 35,000 more doses, and Rodriguez thanked the president for this move, saying that it's better late than never. The NCR Plus bubble remains to be the government's priority in the vaccine drive, even though more areas in the Visayas and Mindanao have been seeing upticks in COVID-19 trends over the past weeks. Rodriguez blames this on a lack of foresight on the part of the IATF.
Nakita nila, May pa. Our letters were sent also, May pa. So, but the problem, yun nga lack of foresight. No real plan. There was no real plan. So it takes, it takes a complaint to have them act.
Testing czar Dizon says the ratio of contact tracers per positive individual has increased in the country. Dizon told the Senate Committee of the Whole that once a positive individual was reported to the LGU, detection, tracing, and testing should immediately kick in. Close contacts are automatically traced by the LGU, while all the tests of those contacts should be free. But despite the increase in capacity, Dizon admits that the number of contact tracers in the country still isn't enough.
Looking at the data po, our average right now is 1:6. It is higher than the 1:3, but still not enough. And we must admit that tracing still is a huge challenge for us.
Quiapo Church vows to stop using disposable plastic as decorations for the upcoming feast of the St. John the Baptist after getting called out by an environment group. Camille Samonte with the details.
An environmental group, Eco Waste Coalition, has called out the Quiapo Church for its decoration for the Feast of St. John the Baptist. The Quiapo Church used disposable plastics as banderitas in preparation for the festivity. The coalition said the use of such decorations is not in line with Bishop's stance for environment, especially now that the world is in climate emergency. Tin film bags is among the most destructive garbage found on land as well as rivers and oceans. The coalition is urging all the church to stop using decorations that will only contribute in plastic pollution. Authorities from the Quiapo Church admits that the use of disposable plastic decorations are prohibited and vowed to replace it.
Totoo yan, kung pwede natin palitan yan, ito naman, tinatanggap natin yan, So, gagawa tayo ng mga hakbang para palitan yan. Alisin yan, kasi bawal nga yung mga plastic. Yung mga sikularang
Father Coronel said they just repeated their decorations to save money.
Hindi tayo perfecto, pero tinatangka natin yan. Dati na yan. So yun na muna, makikinig tayo sa mga mungkahi.
The feast day of San Juan Bautista will be on June 24. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
The Archdiocese of Manila is set to welcome its new Archbishop next week. This comes after Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle was appointed as the prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples in the Vatican. Jen Calimon now reports to us live from Malabon to tell us all about this. Jen, good morning. So when will Cardinal Jose Advincula be installed as the new Archbishop of Manila?
Yes, Charles, the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Manila is now preparing for the installation of Cardinal Jose Advincula on June 24 as the 33rd Archbishop of Manila. Manila Apostolic Administrator Bishop Roderick Pabilla said that Cardinal Advincula will be installed as the new Manila Archbishop on June 24, which is in time with the solemnity of the birth of St. John the Baptist and Manila City's 450th founding anniversary. So before his installation, Cardinal Advincula will be first welcomed by Manila Mayor Isko Moreno at the Postigo Gate in Intramuros, which served as the entrance of high officials of the church during Spanish time. After this, a civic ceremony will be held at the Ayuntamiento with the presence of 5 mayors within the Archdiocese of Manila. This will be followed by the solemn installation and Mass at the Manila Cathedral. The celebration, according to Father Reggie Malikdem, will be very simple. The Mass will be attended by bishops, clergy, some government officials, and families of Cardinal Advincula. The ceremony will also include a reading of the apostolic letter from Pope Francis about Cardinal Advincula's appointment. Papal Nuncio to the Philippines, Archbishop Charles Brown, is expected to install Advincula. He will lead Advincula to his cathedra or chair that symbolizes Advincula's role as the shepherd of the diocese. The renewal of the priestly promises of the clergy of Manila will also be done, with Cardinal Advincula expected to lead the homily. On June 25 at 9 a.m., Cardinal Advincula will again celebrate the Mass at the Manila Cathedral, while he is also expected to lead solemn evening prayers on June 26 to consecrate the men and women from the Archdiocese of Manila at the Manila Cathedral. Then on June 27, Cardinal Advincula will visit Maricaban, Pasay for another Mass at the Mary Comforter of the Afflicted Parish. Recall that Pope Francis appointed Cardinal Advincula last March 25. Advincula is replacing Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, who is now serving as the prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples. Before his appointment, Cardinal Advincula served as the Archbishop of the Diocese of Capiz. He was born in Dumali, Capiz, and was ordained priest in 1976. He studied theology and canon law at the University of Santo Tomas. Charles, the Archdiocese of Manila, said that they will ensure that safety protocols would still be followed while welcoming the new Archbishop. Only the invited participants and guests shall be allowed to enter the premises of Intramuros on June 24. Charles?
Thanks for that, Jen. That was Jen Calimon reporting live from Malabon. A voice expert defends Liza Soberano's Tagalog dub in Netflix's new Filipino animated series, Trese. This comes after Liza received some hate online for her supposed monotonous voice acting for the series. But voice actress Inka Magnaye believes Liza's voice is perfect for the character, as it has a balance of youthfulness and grim. On Twitter, Magnaye said Liza is not monotonous, but does tend to deliver her lines in the same cadence. And the expert believes this is more of an issue with direction, as Liza is an actor rather than a voice actor. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.